In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Pathfinder. So we can only make so much using the basic shapes until we have to start layering them. There's going to be a time when we've reached our limit. So I'm going to show you what the Pathfinder does. We're going to look at the two most common applications. So let's say we wanted to make a donut shape. I've created the initial circle here, and I've just made it super obvious by making it green. Notice how we can't see the yellow square behind it. But if we wanted to punch a hole in something, we could just layer them on top of each other, just stack them on top. And then I'm going to select them both. And once I have two or more things selected in the properties panel, I see this Pathfinder. If you don't see it, go up to the window menu and you're going to select Pathfinder. Either way will work. The options are the same. So if you hover over each one, you can see it gives you a little description of what they do. The two most common that you're going to use are these two, the unite and the minus. So whichever shape is in front, in this case the red circle, it's going to subtract it. And now we have a donut shape. All right, so we can punch holes in things. Let's see this in a little different way. Maybe we want to create like a smiley face type look. We could start with a circle and maybe add an oval on top of it. And again, I'm going to just make this really obvious. So what we're doing here is, what I'm looking at is, after I subtract these two, what's going to be left. In this case, it's going to be this little crescent shape, which could be used as maybe like a smiley face. So again, selecting both and coming over here to Pathfinder and minus the front. And then we could if we were to layer that on top of maybe another shape, it would start to look more like a face and a smile. So start again looking at things differently. Pathfinder, so that's how we can subtract things. If we wanted to add things, there's a few reasons why we would want to do this. So I've put together a bunch of different shapes here using the rounded rectangle. So let me show you first of all how to do the rounded rectangle. We could take our rectangle tool and just start with a basic shape. If you hover over these little circles on the inside and click and drag in, you can make a rounded rectangle. So that's how I made that basic shape there. So let's say we wanted to add a fill color to this, and let's just make it green. And let's say I wanted to do a stroke of, again, I'm going to make it super obvious and just go with red. Okay, so notice how this line here, okay, everything is super defined. Maybe I don't want this line here. Maybe I just want a round, a stroke to go all the way around it without the interior of it. So I could select all of this and come over to Pathfinder, and this time we want to unite, and we're going to see and watch how that affects our shape. Alright, so see what it does. It gives us an outline of the whole thing. So it makes it one big shape instead of many shapes. Now, one thing to remember with this is you can't undo that very easily. So whenever you're doing something complex like this, if you ever want to change it later, it's a good idea to make a copy of it and move it off to the side. That way After you unite this, maybe we want to reuse this and just move things around later on down the road. All right, so it's always good to have a copy of these off to the side in your work area before you use the unite.